Hi there, this is Koshik Ranchod. Welcome to our immigration show. Today, I want to talk about how a bill becomes a law, because there's always the news, this immigration law is going to pass, this immigration law is going to pass. Well, how does that happen? And I want to explain this to you so you have realistic expectations, because there's a lot of hype, and next time you hear that news, you can put it into perspective. And if you haven't already, smash that like button, because it does help that Google algorithm so more people like you can get these videos, and subscribe to get updates and hit the notifications so you know when my videos come out. One of the reasons I want to share this with you so you have realistic expectations about whether or not immigration reform is going to pass. I've been practicing for over 20 years, and in decades, major reform has not passed. And the reason is because most bills that are introduced into Congress do not end up passing. So let's talk about the whole process so you can understand what happens. And I'm sure you might be wondering, like, what's happening with the Biden administration? Is immigration reform going to pass? And now you put it into context, hopefully after this video, so you understand what may happen that could cause it to pass or not pass. So let's look at the first step of how a bill becomes a law. The first step is that the bill is introduced. So it can be introduced either by a representative in the House or by a representative in the Senate. So the very first thing that happens is that the bill is drafted and then it's introduced in the House or Senate by its sponsor. Step number 2, then the bill goes into committee, it's researched, it's debated, and then there's also proposed changes that are made to the bill as well. During this process, they also vote to accept the changes that are made or reject the changes that are made. Now, this is all done before it's sent to the House or Senate floor. And at the House and Senate floor, it's debated, or this is also done before it's sent to subcommittee. So you might be wondering, what committee is it going to? Well, it's referred to each specific committee that oversees the specific area that's affected by the bill. You might be wondering, well, what committee is the Immigration Committee? What committee focuses on immigration law? Well, typically that'd be Homeland Security, that would be Appropriations, or that would be the Judiciary Committee. During this process, a public hearing also occurs as well. In this hearing, they hear testimony from subject matter experts on the area. Here, a bill is typically considered a markup session. This is where amendments might also occur to the bill. And the committee members will vote to accept these changes or reject these changes. At the end of the markup, then what happens is a vote's taken, and it determines whether the bill will be reported out of the committee or whether no further action will be taken. And what happens here is if a bill is reported out of the committee, a report is written, and it describes the purpose, the scope, the measure, as well as the committee's reasons for recommending approval. All right, that was step number 2. Quite an involved step, wouldn't you agree? And then number 3, what happens in step number 3? Well, this is where a lot of the noise, the hype comes in. And in step number 3, what we are looking at is where Congress votes on the bill. So we had all that committee work done, and then once the final bill is ready, then the House or the Senate will actually vote on the final bill. In most cases, the bill must pass with the majority vote. If one chamber passes the vote, then it must be moved to the other chamber to also have the bill approved. So let's talk about how this could apply to you with immigration law. Now, you might see, for instance, bills that even get to the stage where they get approved by the House, but then once it gets sent over to the other chamber, the Senate, it doesn't get approved. So you have to have both the House and Senate approve it. And that's why it's so difficult to get a bill approved. Not only that, but once it gets approved by one chamber, such as the House, then it goes to the other chamber, so let's say the Senate, and they go through that whole process as well. So this is all part of our checks and balances.